Welcome back, Juventinità, to the Juventinità Back to Black and White podcast. My name's Daniel Anigro, and we're live from Calgary, Alberta, Canada. And today we're going to be going over the preview for Juve Benevento. And I have a great guest on today. You guys are all familiar with him. And welcome to the show, Davide, obviously at daily_Juve and at Juve Daily 10, I believe it is on Instagram.
Yes.
So, welcome to the show, buddy.
What's up, Bads?
So it's awesome that you keep asking to come on, and I really appreciate it. And obviously, right now you're just around the corner at 1,000 followers on Twitter. So hopefully this video can get you over that hump. That would be awesome. But stop taking all the followers, man. You're stealing all my followers. No,
I'm the famous one right now.
Yeah, exactly. You're more famous than me. So you got to start your own podcast then.
Maybe.
There you go. So obviously a fellow Canadian, and it's really nice to have you back on. So we don't need to get into any of the usual, obviously new fans, but let's get right into the news. Why don't we? Juve is going to be facing Genoa in the Coppa Italia. That's confirmed. January 13th of 2021. That'll be the round of 16, and we'll get kind of times and stuff like that a little bit later on. Not really important right now. There was a pretty interesting kind of topic of Haaland coming to Juve at some point, and there was a big quote there with at the beginning of 2018. He says, "Juventus wanted me, but I was too young, 17, and it was better for me to start gradually and play with continuity at Salzburg." That was in Tutto Sport, but again, I don't know. We see what Raiola was saying. I don't know. What were your thoughts on that quote, Davide?
Oh, I love Haaland, but he was too young to join, I think.
Yeah, well, it's tough. It's a tough transfers are always a tough situation.
Yes.
And we got to see what we can do this summer, obviously in the summer, but also in the winter window. We'll see. Nothing's guaranteed. There's a lot of rumors. There's a lot of talk. Obviously, for next summer, Ramos has been, emerged as one of the top targets, apparently. I don't know. I think that's a big spend. That's a big kind of, even though you might get him for, he might sign for not that much, but I mean, that contract is pretty heavy. Then we got, again, we talked about this a little bit before the podcast. Beppe Marotta admires Dybala greatly, and his team is monitoring the situation. That's from tuttojuve.com. So again, take these all as you will, guys, with a grain of salt. But Merda being interested in Dybala, I really hope we don't go down this road again, because I know with Icardi, if you remember, there was a lot of these kind of talks. But what are your thoughts about Merda Inter getting involved with Dybala? And we're going to kind of talk a little bit about Dybala. It's going to be a little bit of a theme based on the next couple points, as well as some of the questions that we got from the great fans out there.
Oh, I think we sell him to Merida. I want a swap deal for money.
Yeah,
and
I hope so.
Like this happened, I want to swap Dybala for the midfielder, Italian midfielder.
Oh, for like Barella.
Barella, yes.
Yeah, I don't know. That would be a tough. I mean, that'd be a tough sell for them. That's a pretty key player. But let's wait and see. Who knows? Maybe that is the situation. I don't know. Are you growing tired of this whole Dybala situation, Davide?
I just don't really care.
Yeah, I just feel like it's so much talk and just doesn't seem to end. There's always a new story. We see here with Corriere di Torino, Dybala demanding 15 million. He currently earns 7.5 million, and I think that's a very underrated wage for a guy like him. And we've had that for a while now. When he's had 3-4 seasons, everybody's looking at like 6-7 games, and we're acting like that's the sample size is 6-7 games. Oh, you got to take everything to fact. That's what a contract negotiation is. You gotta look at the whole picture, not just 5 games. And sure, you could say it's 4. You're trying to, you know, progress and see what his, predict how his future is going to be based off what's going on now. But we'll see what happens in the future. Obviously, the current negotiations aren't early. They're going to ask for 15 million, and Juve's does not want to go beyond 10. So we'll see what happens. 10 is kind of and again, this is a story, so who knows what's true or not. Again, it could be put out there for who knows what reason to rile up the fans as usual. Obviously, there remains a risk for you losing him as a free transfer if the contract expires in June 2022. But again, it seems like there's positivity between both parties, and that was from La Stampa. Again, La Stampa, they're going to probably talk in early 2021. That's kind of the presumed idea that's out there. We'll see. In this article, they say that it's fundamental to the club in planning ahead. I don't know. Does that mean that, planning ahead that Juve, is going to get that money, that they're going to keep him, that he's going to be a key piece for the future? We'll have to wait and see. More transfer news from Corriere Torino. Juventus is going to make an attempt for DePaul or Locatelli in January if Khedira accepts Everton. And I really hope he does accept Everton because there's no use in a guy not playing. What are your thoughts, Davide?
Say that again.
What are your thoughts on DePaul or Locatelli? DePaul, obviously, from Udinese, Locatelli from Sassuolo, and then obviously Khedira going to Everton.
So Locatelli is a good midfielder, but I don't know one of the guys from Udinese.
He's going to be more of a number 10. That's where I would place him at least. And Khedira, hopefully he goes. We need to get that money off the books.
Yeah, we need him go.
Yeah,
I'm been sick for Khedira since he joined.
Yeah, I mean he was good initially, but now it's getting too much. Calciomercato obviously reported Donny van de Beek on loan to Juve. I guess. I think that's kind of a reach, but we'll see what happens. Make it permanent for 35 million. And this is why, when people talk about Fabrizio Romano and Romeo Agresti, and then I see Calciomercato reporting something that was said, these are kind of the reasons why that I question, because you hear a rumor like that, and I don't know, that doesn't seem very realistic to me. But anyways, let's talk about we're going to get kind of more into the game. Guys, as always, the channels to follow, YouTube, obviously Twitter, Instagram. What do we got? iTunes, we got Podbean, we got Google Podcasts, which I've seen actually a few more people actually following the podcast on that channel. So that's great to see that it's being used. And obviously Spotify. So guys, please, if you've made it here, and I really hope that you have made it here, please drop a like if you haven't already. Please subscribe if you haven't already. It would be great to have you part of the Juventinità family as well. Please get Davide to where he needs to be, 1,000 followers, and continue to follow him on his YouTube channel as well. That would be great, guys. And if you guys please drop some comments, questions, concerns, your thoughts on this podcast. It really makes it entertaining for me. I really like to interact with the fans, and it starts with you guys dropping some comments. So please do that, and that would be awesome.
We got more comments.
Exactly. So we got some more to.
Yeah, just check on Twitter.
Awesome, man. So we'll have to add those in at the end as well. So who's in, who's out? Chiellini, Demiral, Buffon, and Ronaldo is obviously resting, so he's not going to be playing at all tomorrow. Who's in? Bonucci apparently is back from injury, which is okay. That's kind of
fake injury, I think.
That's funny. Obviously, the young defender Dragusin, Portanova, the young obviously midfielder, and Garofani. I believe it's Giovanni Garofani or Giuseppe Garofani, but he's also another youth player, so that he's going to be making his a call up for him, which is pretty cool. Quadrado obviously expected to start on the bench and get some rest as well. That was obviously reported by Romeo Agresti. And we're going to talk about the formation because there's been a lot, how we're going to set up, how we're going to, who's going to be the starter. We'll see what happens. Obviously, to look back a little bit, Champions League, we qualified, I would say, unconvincingly, in my opinion. But we can still qualify as top of the group. What are your thoughts, Davide, on the give us a couple words about what your thoughts about the last game, Juve Ferencvaros were?
The Champions League match?
Yes, sir.
Oh, this game, I was like, I was like, I think we're gonna lose that game because the Hungarian team, was playing good. I was like, Juve were hit to the post.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, they seemed to be every time they got the ball, they would always put us in risky positions, and they would always take advantage of our poor defense, and that was even with De Ligt on the pitch. So I think defensively we still need to tighten up. Obviously, we're going to expect a little bit, kind of a little to be open at the back because that's just the offensive style we're in. You got to expect that. You're not going to pick it up completely. Just you can't expect that out of humans to be going back forth all the time, and picking up every run. You can try to get close to perfection, but perfection is obviously is very difficult to achieve. But what I noticed again, Pirlo didn't fix what the mistakes that I've seen in the first half. He kept on this cross the ball in mentality, and we had to use all 5 subs against Ferencvaros, the Hungarian team, and I don't think that was necessary. We put all these guys in when we literally should have dispatched. I think Ronaldo was all right in that game. Crazy goal. And again, we're relying on him to score all the goals, and it's not going to work for us in the future. So I think we got extremely lucky. We put in 20 crosses for one, luckily, to find the back of the net. And I think it was really lucky. Kind of went right through the goalkeeper. Morata with the header. I mean, this guy, what can you say? God. What can you say?
He's been good, man.
Yeah.
He's been good. I've been liking him since he was at Real Madrid on the bench.
Yeah, I mean, it was unfortunate, right? Like, we almost didn't have a choice for him going back because, that's it was in Madrid's hands. Obviously, they had the last say. So, I mean, we'll see. Hopefully, he can keep banging in the goals. It's ridiculous that the numbers. I believe he's like 1 goal away from breaking, or he's pretty much 1 goal away from Holland, I believe. So he's right up there at the top. I believe also he's on 5th overall as a. He just went into the 5th spot of Champions League goals for Juventus. So pretty impressive. So
yeah,
so to speak.
Yeah, that was like, I'm so happy for him. He came back, and that game.
Yeah.
The last minute, I was screaming.
That's awesome to hear. That's awesome. Yeah, no, unfortunately I worked during the week, so I couldn't watch the game live. So I kind of knew what the score and I kind of knew what happened already. So it was it took it a little bit away. But yeah, I was shocked when I saw the notification saying that we had scored in the 90+2. But looking at the fans and how they were reacting, you could kind of tell it wasn't a great performance, right? And we'll get into we won't get in too much into that game, but let's look ahead now. Match facts, obviously Juve Benevento at the Ciro Vigorito. Obviously November 28th is the date. 6 p.m. in Europe, or at least Central Europe. 10 a.m. for me, 9 a.m. on the Pacific Coast, 12 noon for you. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoy that tomorrow. A little bit of an earlier game, but you still get to all sleep in, so that's nice. Don't forget to check out Cafe alla Juventinità, which is going to be back and hopefully banging, because that whole situation, which I will get into on the next one, it was such a difficult day on that. I had the momentum rolling for me, and I completely botched it. Well, at least you two played a good part in that. But anyways, let's talk about some match facts. Obviously, Juve's record 4-4-0 in Serie A, 16 points in fourth place. Benevento, quite the opposite, 3-0-5. That's 5 losses, with 9 points in 14th place. 10 places apart for both teams. I wouldn't hold that too heavily the way Juve's been playing against the teams that got promoted from Serie B, and we all know how those ended. But again, opposite ends of the table. Now, Juve's top scorer, obviously Cristiano Ronaldo with 8 goals. Benevento's top scorer, Caprari and Lapadula on 3 goals apiece. So let's look at the form. And last week, Benevento pulled out a 1-0 win against Fiorentina, and they snapped a 4-game losing streak. So
that's tough.
We'll see what happens this game tomorrow. And obviously with Juve, 2 draws, a win, draw, and a win. Interesting form. Like I said, we still got a long way to go. Milan's doing well, and we got to make up some points, right? That we've dropped. So again, we have to keep winning. Yeah, keep getting wins. And that's, again, before we get a little bit too ahead, that's kind of one thing that I said before the Ferencvaros game. We need to start putting, we beat Cagliari 2-0. I wouldn't say it was amazing for in the second half, but we look good in the first half. We need to start stringing these together. What do? We play really mediocre against Ferencvaros. It's the same typical Juve. And that's not going to help us in any way, shape, or form. So we got to get back to in the W column again, so that we can keep moving forward. Let's obviously look at who's out. Well, like I told you before, some of the main players, obviously, we know Demiral, we know Chiellini, we know Buffon, Khedira, obviously. And for Ferencvaros, Iago Falque should be out. Dabo, Del Pinto, Viola, Tua, and Foulon are all out for them, apparently. We've only played 2 games against Benevento in the history that I've found. And that was in the 17-18 season, which I believe was the first time that Benevento was promoted to Serie A. So, November 5th, 2017, Juve 2, Benevento 1. Cicciretti scored first, and that kind of gave us a little bit of a scare. But Higuain and then Cuadrado put us ahead in that one. Then on April 7th, 2018, Juve 4, Benevento 2. So again, it's the same season, the second half of the season. Dybala hat-trick in that game. But again, it was an interesting game. We would score, Dybala would score, then Diabate would score. I believe Dybala scored again. Diabate tied it. And then Dybala scored his hat-trick to finish them at the end, with Douglas Costa adding a 4th to kind of cap it off towards the end of the game. If you remember those 2 games, some interesting numbers there. A lot of goals scored, that's for sure. Let's look at the formation. So there's talk of 4-4-2. There's talk of, again, a similar 3-4-1-2, depending on how you want to look at the formation. For me, it's quite clear that Tech is going to be in goal. Obviously, with Danilo on the right side, De Ligt, Bonucci, and then there's kind of a debate whether it's going to be Frabotta or it's going to be Alexandro. Now, I wouldn't mind playing Alexandro because he needs to get back into playing games. I know he played the full 90 minutes, which was nice. But again, we're going to have to do some rotation. He's not playing every game. Then for the midfield, we got Chiesa, Rabiot, Bentancur, and Kulusevski, with Dybala and Morata up top. So there's a lot of talk about those two, playing with each other, and hopefully that makes the difference. That would really be nice to see. What are your thoughts on the formation? Like I said, there's 2 4-4-2s, with obviously one being Alexandro on the left back position, and the other one I heard would be very similar. You're getting Alexandro, De Ligt, Danilo as your center backs, which is what you usually see when we go into attack. Anyways, you're going to have Chiesa, Rabiot, Artur, Cuadrado as your 4. Kulusevski is the number 10 kind of position. But again, he's roaming. He's going back to the right-hand side. When we go into defensive mode, we play with that 4-4-2 anyways. So again, you're not going to see however you want to draw the map. You want to draw the map. So after that long-winded kind of speech there, Davide, what do you think about the formations, buddy? Do you think everybody's we're good? We're kind of rotating. Ronaldo not playing.
Oh, I think Ronaldo's resting. I think that's a good rest, but I think we need to change up from one game. Just try them out, try a new formation, try new players, get everyone playing. Be happy for Pirlo.
Yeah, for sure. I think we got to get some guys, minutes, and Kulusevski obviously came in. I didn't think he was as good coming in as a sub. I didn't think he had that really direct spark. I don't know if it was like fatigue or what it was, but it didn't seem like he offered that much. Like a lot of players that came on in that second half really didn't seem to offer too much. Let's look at Benevento. Obviously,
new promoted team for 2 years.
Yeah, so there's a little bit of a debate. Kind of, I looked at their last lineup, and from what Gazzetta dello Sport is saying, I have a very similar kind of lineup. The only thing that changes is the top of the Christmas tree, your 2 and your 1. So for what they played last game, they had Montipo in goal, same for both. Barba, Caldirola, Glick, and Letizia as your defensive line. Improta, Schiattarella, Atemai as your kind of three mid. And then we have, obviously, Gazzetta dello Sport saying that Insigne, Caprari, and Lapadula are going to be the top 3, whereas their last formation was Sao, Moncini, and Ionizza. So we'll have to wait and see tomorrow. I might have a better picture when I do my, like I said, Cafe alla Juventinità. And I really hope you guys enjoy those shorter videos. Please check it out. Kind of took inspiration from you, from Al, from Roman. And congratulations, Roman, again. I always like to say that because he's done a great job. He's hit 1,000 subs on YouTube.
He did.
And he deserves all the respect in the world. Yeah. So great job, Roman, again. And hopefully you're listening to this for like all the rest of you guys are. So thank you. Yeah, exactly. Keys to the match. I think it's pretty simple. We have to start playing through the middle.
100%.
Way too many crosses last game. 20, I believe it was.
Yeah, Champions League, we're just crossing to him a lot through Ronaldo. We need to play like tiki-taka.
Yeah, and we look at the success even in Cagliari, right? Like how good we looked when Kulusevski started to bring that ball, and then we started actually, triangulating and making really good passes, making really good runs, and then we opened them up. I know Ferencvaros was very compact, but I still think we would have been able to break them down. Dybala, I think, needs to stay up. He needs to stop coming back. If I start seeing that again, I don't think we're going to see a change. We're not going to see much of a change in how he looks. Midfielders, stop going up to all the time. Like, they can go up and they can make runs, but support the fullbacks. Come back when you need to. You need to be more positionally aware because that's going to help out in the defensive end or when teams try and counter us. Defensively as well, we need to be tighter. I mentioned earlier in that Ferencvaros game, it seemed like every chance or every counter they had, they looked like they could have scored. And a lot of the time, it was them screwing up a lot of the chances. So let's see what happens. Clinical on the offensive end, that's obvious. We had chances. To say we didn't have chances is one thing. But we had chances, and we need to score those. Kind of suck.
Rebound goals, the garbage goals.
Exactly.
Make sure to stay near the net.
You know it. And yeah, like I think we could easily beat this club. Is there anything else in terms of what you want to see tomorrow from Juve?
I want to see a better performance against this team Benevento. We've been playing since 2 years. The two games we've playing since 2017, 18. The first one, remember the free kick? I was like, don't tell me to lose to them.
Yeah.
And so Dybala scored a hat trick. And Douglas Costa scored that game goal.
Yep.
So that was a good performance against Benevento that match. I think the midfield needs to play more defensive.
Yeah.
And we need Di Morale coming back, hopefully. But we got Nucci starting, so it's going to be tough.
Yeah, that's the thing, right? And I mean, at least we have Delict, right?
Oh,
At least. So it kind of gives us a little bit. Also on that the Gazzetta dello Sport formation, I forgot to mention, they have actually Danilo instead of Bonucci. So I think that one was a little bit early, a little bit of premature. Must have been a couple of days ago for them to the one that I pulled. So again, we'll see what happens. Who knows what the final formation is? We'll find out once they announce it. But I think it's a pretty good chance that we're gonna see it like that. So let's get into the prediction. Davide, I always like to let the guests go first because I can see what you're doing, and then it makes me look smarter when I pick something similar. But anyways, what's the score line, and who are the goal scorers for you?
I say it's going to be a 3-1 Juventus.
3-1 Juventus, okay.
Yeah, Bento will score in the halftime, okay. I think. And Juve will come back in the second half. Kuznetsky will come in Chiesa will get assist. A header for Morata.
Okay.
Cross goal, 60-minute. Arthur will score the second goal, I think.
So you think it's going to be 2-1?
No, 2-1. Arthur scores. I really like Arthur.
Okay. Yeah, no, me too. Me too, man. We're gonna talk about that actually in the questions next. So again, so you said who's gonna score first for Juve?
Morata.
Morata, okay, and then
two goals for Morata, and the third one will be the American.
McKennie, you think? Okay.
Yeah, McKennie. I really like him. I really like him since he was at Germany, circa.
Yeah, I mean, he's been pretty good. I gotta say, surprisingly, especially when you've never heard that name before, right? So
I heard of him a lot because of FIFA.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, for me, no, honestly, I had no clue who he was before we announced it. So yeah, but it's good to see he's fitting in. It really is. It seems like the team's kind of going together. You see the videos on Twitter and the pranks and stuff that they're pulling.
Loves it over there in Italy.
Yeah. So it's nice. It's nice. I think it's going to be 3-0. I don't think we're going to get scored on. This is probably going to bite me in the ass again. But Dybala and I think Morata 2 goals. So Dybala 1 goal, Morata 2 goals. I think it's going to be a rejuvenation of those two players and to see Dybala play well again. But let's see what happens. What happens on the pitch is all that matters.
And recipes Maradona.
Yeah, exactly. We lost one of the greats. And yeah, it's sad.
Very sad for Napoli fans.
Especially looking at Buenos Aires, but looking at obviously Napoli. Obviously, they've dedicated their stadium name, so hopefully now they can actually, put a little prestige into that stadium because the name actually means something.
Yeah.
But yeah, I know it's unfortunate. It really is. 60 years old. In a time where there's a lot of people, whether it be, pre-existing conditions or not, I've heard a lot of people even here around, not necessarily immediate family, but a lot of people, whether it be friends or coworkers, someone dying of cancer, someone dying, some condition. I mean, it's pretty difficult right now. So
Yeah.
again, guys, stay. I even heard recently today. What was it? A friend of someone on Twitter had committed suicide. So guys, just I know it's a difficult time. Let's stick together. Let's talk to each other. Um, and if you guys ever need anything, please drop me a line. Let's have a conversation.
Yeah, I mean,
I would hate to have anybody on this platform, who's feeling bad, who's feeling, alone or whatever the case may be. There's a lot of people, including, even sometimes myself, you go through these situations, especially when we have to lock down. And I hope no one's affected by COVID in any way, either that be, personally or not. But again, reach out. I have no problem having a conversation, whether it be, even if you want to call through Skype or WhatsApp, or, if you actually want to physically talk, or just through chat, you guys let me know, because I would hate to hear it. You see these stories. Actually, even in the news, there was someone just before COVID, one of the famous kind of news anchors of Calgary's news. Um, his son actually committed suicide as well, and it's just not right to hear. It's
yeah,
not right to hear.
you make me sad right now.
Wow, yeah, I mean, it was tough. I remember as a kid, I don't know them personally, but I think I was playing hockey one of these when I was younger, and I think they were in the next arena, and we're like, oh shit, that's so and so. That's the news anchor, right? I guess maybe his son must have been playing. And so I don't know him, I don't meet him, but to hear that and to see him on the news, he had just retired actually after a long career in media, and his wife had just retired as well. And yeah, they got that news right before COVID. So again, guys, don't feel shy, don't feel embarrassed. Just talk to people. If it's me, maybe if it's me, it doesn't need to be me. Find someone you're close to. If it is me, I have no problem. But find someone you're close to, talk it out. Don't do anything stupid. It's not worth it. For the people that care about you, and there is people that care about you. And obviously Maradona was, he's had health issues for a little while now, so I'm not it's really unfortunate, but these other things you hear about, they are unfortunate, because they could have been, it's not a disease, it's not an illness. I mean, it is a disease, it is an illness, but it's something that we can actually, help the person out. There is a positive outcome when we talk to people, and it's unfortunate, but we got to get up every day. We got to live our lives, and yeah, guys, I hope all you guys are staying safe. That's my big thing, because I know there's a lot going on in the world, and we don't know when this is gonna end. And hopefully soon, with these vaccine talks, but you never know. We're talking about lockdowns again, but again, just stay safe. I know the U.S. just had Thanksgiving, and I really hope a lot of you spend time with your family. I know there's a lot of protocols, but you know, eh, would you rather be alone, or would you rather be with the ones you loved? Whether the situation, whether there's a vaccine or not, whether there's COVID or not. I mean, for me personally, if you're gonna say, "Hey, this is the last time," that's who I'd rather be. I couldn't imagine older folks, in their 70s, 80s, having to live by themselves right now, and not see anyone. For and maybe that's being the last. They don't see them again, right? So hopefully everyone's safe. I know it's a little bit of a somber note at the end of this, but it was good we brought it up, to bring awareness, obviously, for mental health, obviously to keep everybody safe with COVID. And, tomorrow we get to enjoy a game. Hopefully all of us get to wake up. All of us get to enjoy a game. We can all talk tomorrow, all enjoy. Juve, bitch, argue, complain, fight, whatever, but we get to do
I
that.
love
So
it. I love it.
So let's be happy. Let's enjoy. And let's get into some viewer questions because what would this be if it wasn't for you guys? So beautiful, Mason. Thank you, buddy. Vecchia Senora blog. Check out, obviously, if you've seen my fleets today. He's got some merch on the line. Kind of looks like a piece of art that he's got going on there. Kind of an abstract. I really like it. I got to pick. Once I get some money, I'm going to start buying all of these. So check him out. But thanks for the question. He says, who are the best midfielders of the season so far? Davide, you go ahead, buddy.
I said Arthur, Wes McKinney, and Rabiot has been improving. He's been a little bit good. The worst, I think, is Bentancur. I don't want to be too harsh with him, but he's not been performing well.
Not at his best, yeah, for sure. I would agree. I would agree with those names. I think if you consider Kulusevski a midfield, I don't know if you want to consider him a winger or not. It depends on how you want to say it. But yeah, definitely McKennie, definitely Artur. I really have liked Artur. I agree with you, Davide. Especially with how he can hold the ball, how direct he is. But if we were gonna say Chiesa's in there, Kulusevski's in there, Cuadrado's, if you want to kind of say he's I guess you could throw him as a right back, but I would say Kulusevski, McKennie, Rabiot, and Artur. So again, a good chunk of them. Obviously, the only ones that we haven't included are Khedira, Ramsey, again injured, not in a big enough sample size, and which I've liked him when he has been healthy, but he hasn't been healthy. And the other one was so I said Khedira, Ramsey, and Bentancur, like you said. So I would agree with you on that. And thank you, Mason, for the question. The next one, obviously, another familiar face, James Baratino, Jimmy_Stallion. What's up, buddy? Thanks for the question, as always. If Dybala doesn't score, will his agent reduce their demands or go to 16 million?
Oh my god! I checked this on Twitter. I'm like, what is this question? This is a good question, Joe.
He cracks me up.
I'm not gonna answer that question. That's a great.
I'm gonna say he's gonna still stick with. He's gonna go 20 million. He should go 20 because he's worth it.
I
think he's worth it.
I think you go 17, a discount.
I do, but like you look at it, right? Like if he's given us 4 good seasons, it's tough. Like it's really tough to say. And you look at the spectrum, right? You know, there's people that are saying 15, okay. Then there's people saying 12 and a half. I would kind of agree with that. That makes sense. You know, middle of the road. They're saying, okay, then there's news reports saying Juve saying 10. Then there's some fans saying, oh, we should only pay him 8, 9. So, I mean, for me, I would agree with you, kind of middle of the road, maybe 12, maybe 11. We'll see, with possibility of bonus. If, let's say that's what I would do. I would say, okay, we're doing this. We'll give you middle of the road, but we'll give you incentive that if you hit certain goal bonuses or, a certain amount of goals, certain amount of assists, it'll go up to 15 million. I don't see why that isn't a possibility. So, and why they haven't thought of that yet. But no, I think Dybala is going to get back, guys. And if not, well, then we're probably going to see him gone. I think that's just a quite obvious fact of the way it is. And even if he starts doing well, I still question the club. I'm not sure what their motives are and what their thoughts are. I know there's been a lot of discussion, like we've said, but we'll see. But yeah, thanks, James. I appreciate that question.
Too busy on TikTok with his girlfriend, Dybala. I see every time with his girlfriend posted on TikTok. I'm like,
come on, man. He's got to make different. He's got to get different revenue streams, right? He's got to make some money, on these other places.
He broke up with another girl. I'm like, what is going on? I'm like, you gotta focus on soccer. Like,
I do agree. I agree with you on that, though. I do agree. He's got to be a little bit more focused, that's for sure, and he's got to get back to full health. Abdullah. Oh,
I have
go ahead.
another question about Dybala. Maybe because of COVID, maybe.
Well, I mean he's had a couple things, right? He had the thigh injury, then he also had COVID.
Yeah.
Then he's had kind of this stomach problems. So I mean, look, you got to get to a certain level, right? You're not going to just go from zero to it's not 0 to 100. You know, he's got to build up. He's got to build his confidence too. That's another thing that's lacking. We'll see. We'll see what happens in this game. But thank you, James. I appreciate it. And congratulations on working on that new podcast with the Juve Club of Toronto. Good job. Good job. Good job.
Hopefully, I'll be there one day. The podcast.
Yeah. Why? Me too. Me too.
Yeah, I want
Uh,
to. Yes, I love doing these podcasts.
yeah, I know it's a lot of fun, man. It's a lot of fun. But Abdul Rahman at AK21RD says, with the January transfer market just around the corner, which one of these positions needs to be reinforced the most?
The midfield, and right back, and maybe a center back.
So, if you only had to pick one, if you would only do one, which one? Right back or midfield? Would you say
Midfield?
So you think a midfield's okay?
Yeah.
I would go right back, to be honest, in my opinion. But if you say midfield, hey, I agree too. I think there's a possibility, but I am liking what I'm seeing from the midfield, to be honest, for the most part, from what we're getting out of them. But hey, good takes either way. Thank you, Abdul Rahman.
Question about the transfers.
Yeah.
We should sign the Manchester United guy, Verbe, or Lucatelli. I want to get into him a little bit now. I think he want to get that much playing time like Bettoleschi did. I think maybe he should stay another 2 years with Sassuolo.
Okay.
And maybe getting the team more in Sassuolo, or maybe in 2 years we could get Lucatelli.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of discussion about that for sure. I mean, I've gotten on the end of it too with, obviously Jake, Mr. Sassuolo. And it's interesting. Actually,
they've been good, Sassuolo.
oh yeah, they have. I mean, you got to give them credit, but I think there's a different stage. Juve and Sassuolo is a different stage, and having to play that consistently, having the pressure, I don't think it's there. Not to say that he isn't the right midfielder. I mean, I would probably take him as well. It's going to depend on the price, though. It's going to depend on the wages.
That's a problem.
Because that price has only gone up now from him playing well with the Italian national team. But again, you want to see some continuity with that. He's just getting back with the national team. You know, you kind of want to see how he's going to do in a major tournament. Again, I'm not. I think my point was misconstrued. I'm just saying let's look at our options. Let's not just go dive in. You know, people were saying no questions asked, Locatelli right away. Let's see what's out there. You know, let's see what's happening with Pogba. Let's see what's happening with Locatelli. Let's see what's happening with Awar. Let's see what's happening. You know, like you said, if Van de Beek's possibly, I don't know how accurate that is, but maybe I don't know. Let's have a look. Let's be smart about it, right? But thank you, Abdul. Next, Joe Cappuccino, beauty. Check out Red Card Report. Great podcast. They always answer my questions. But I you know what I gotta say, Joe was completely wrong. There is an obligation to play Paulo Dybala. Without a doubt, you have to be playing these three players. That's your job as a manager. You got to make sure the best players are on the pitch, playing at their best. So I do think there's an obligation to play him, whether he's an inform or not, and he's got to make sure that the tactics and the movements are gonna help out the players. I think we got a little bit of a counterbalance between how Dybala has to play and how Ronaldo and kind of Morata jam. So we'll see what happens in the future. But Joe, obviously, at Joe_Cappuccino, fueling the fire here. Is Dybala worth the 15 million per season he's asking for? Do you think he's worth it? Because
Ooh, this,
I think everybody knows my opinion, but let's hear
yeah,
your
yeah.
side.
But I think he needs to get. I think he goes low. I think. I know I like Dybala, but I think he needs to go low for 2 years and maybe ask for more money.
So you're thinking sign like a short-term deal and kind of see where he is and then re-up at the end of the first year if it's going better, right?
Yes,
Okay.
maybe this season.
That's that's an interesting idea. I think that's a pretty good thought. You know, you kind of think of the way hockey does it and stuff like that. Yeah, I think kind of like a bridge deal. But yeah, I mean, we'll see. We'll see what I think he's worth it. I would pay him the 15 million. I would have no problem signing that contract. I would have done it just so he would just the confidence. I guarantee you. Me, if I'm president, we're going in. We're like, we need you. You're the man. You're gonna be our star of the future. Let's get this shit settled. Boom, no problems. I guarantee you, he would be playing. He'd have way more confidence. He'd be playing way better. But no, what the team's got to do, we've got to put the monkey on his back, like always. We always got to cause problems. And we're in the situation we're in. Dybala, low confidence, still not fully fit, and that's where we sit. So, guys, let me know your thoughts. Is he worth it? I want to hear your opinion. Drop it in the comments and answer all the other questions.
Like
Thanks,
mine,
Joe.
are You They Daily. Make sure
Yeah,
to subscribe to the channel, You They Daily
check
YouTube
it out.
channel.
But anyways, like you said, there's been actually some more while we've been talking.
Yeah, I'm like,
There's been a couple more developments. And also, if anyone's into college football, upset alert! Oregon State just beat Oregon,
no way.
so that's just the case. I love college football, but
Same.
might as well throw that in there for you guys. Jake, obviously,
Go ahead. Go ahead.
yeah, Jake, obviously, Mr. Sassuolo at Jake Vinciguerra. He should just change his name to Mr. Sassuolo. That would just make our lives a hell of a lot easier. But he says on a recent podcast, it was said that there are plenty of midfielders that are doing what Locatelli is doing, except they do it in the UCL. Out of all the midfielders like Loca, Registas, who would you rather have instead amongst those in the UCL? I'm sorry for the wording. No worries, bro. I get what you're saying. So he's saying, because I brought up an argument, not in a podcast, or possibly it was in a podcast, but I know it was definitely in a thread on Twitter. You look at War, who's played in the Champions League, who's played in the French League, is a starter. Okay.
And Europe.
Exactly. Locatelli has played for Sassuolo, a couple games for the national team, but he hasn't played in Europe. You look at Pogba, has gone World Cup winner,
Yeah.
has started on the French national team, has gone to a final with Juventus, has played in Champions League, beating teams like PSG. They upset PSG a couple years ago. They upset them so far, but has kind of tapered off. I mean, I still believe in Pogba. I have no problem saying that, whether you guys believe that or not. That's up to you guys, but looking at those players, I mean, there's going to be lots. There's going to be Van de Beek as well. He's got experience in Champions League, and obviously with the Dutch team. De Paul doesn't really have the Champions League experience, but has been a pretty good starter. Maybe more of an offensive player to link up, to help with the link up. Who are you thinking, boss? Who are you thinking? Who would you rather have? If let's say money wasn't an issue, let's say we're gonna say, you know what, all of them are worth 50 million. What are your thoughts? Who are you taking out of all, or even someone else? Someone like, if you have another name in mind, throw that out there. But I would have to say Pogba. In my opinion, if we're lining these guys up, even if it's at a 50 million, I know his wage is going to be inflated. I'm taking Pogba because I know that we can fit him into the system. We have a guy like Artur, who's not Pirlo, but we have kind of a similar air to that. And then we also have a guy like Rabiot who can, not necessarily say he's like Vidal or like Marquisio, but he's got that kind of vibe going to him. And we can also throw in Bentancur, and we can also have Ramsey when he's healthy. Potentially Ramsey would go if that were going to be the case, I think. But Yeah, what are your thoughts, man? Who would you take if 50 million's the price? Wages will be wages.
Or 60 or 60.
60, so whatever.
Um,
It's
this
a
is
tough choice.
yeah, it's tough, man. I want people to not hate me or roast me. So I think I want to get a cheaper midfield like McKinney did,
Okay.
or maybe get like a superstar like Pogba.
Well, who knows?
Or
Maybe you can only afford a cheap midfielder, right? Like there's still lots to talk about, lots to figure out, but don't worry about let's say we can afford it.
yeah, that's true. So
That's where we're gonna set the bar at right now. We can afford it. Looking at the different experiences, right, that we just talked about, who would you want? Just simply, if you had to pick, and give us a reason why you'd pick them.
I think our
Okay, fair enough. I know a lot of people have been saying that they still want the guy. So yeah, why do you think he would fit best in a Juve?
I think he wants Juventus. I see when um a a call like calling his mom. I see he's saying like
Yeah,
he wants to join Juventus. He wants to join Juventus. I really like him. Make sure, and he's a really good midfield in FIFA
yeah,
too. So make sure to get him a FIFA.
yeah. There you go. FIFA don't lie. Ball don't
Yeah.
lie. That's what they say.
We gotta
So
play. We gotta play each other in FIFA. Like you
see,
gotta get back
I
in.
gotta get FIFA. So apparently it's on cheap now. So I'm gonna be picking it up this weekend. I didn't have a chance to go today.
Let's go. Let's play each other.
But
PS4.
I think it's like $35, guys. So
Yeah,
if you want to get like FIFA, pick it up now because this
I
is
pre-order
either.
it. I pre-order it.
See, I was going to, and this has been not a great
Yeah.
year. I don't have the funds like I usually do to buy these games. And I've been saving up to get a PS5 that they don't have in
Hard.
stock.
It's hard. I try to get it. I was trying. It was so hard. And more when different friends got it.
Oh,
So what? And I
yeah.
was trying to get the Xbox. We got it.
I mean, it is what it is. We'll have to wait until the new year and then play on the new system. But yeah, no, definitely I got to pick that game up, and hopefully we can have a couple games.
And post up.
Maybe, yeah, exactly. Set up some lie. You can show me how to figure this.
Pro Cubs will be sick.
Exactly. We'll figure it out. We got lots of contents in the book that's going to be coming out. We're going to be getting the official logo drop tomorrow of
Cool.
Cafe alla Juventinità. Beautiful, beautiful job by Nilesh. I think it's probably even better than my actual logo right now. But unbelievable job. We got merch. I've kind of floated some things around in the messages and obviously Twitter message DMs. Guys, stay tuned. We got lots. We got lots coming up, and it's gonna be official tomorrow. Juventinità daily. We're gonna keep going. I needed to take a breather. I had to step a little. I didn't feel great yesterday. I had a migraine that scared the crap out of me when I was thinking it was COVID or something like that. But I had a little migraine. We're all good. We're back to normal today. Gathered my thoughts. You're gonna be seeing a video posted probably late tonight. Or you've already seen it. It's probably going to come out before this podcast will, but we got a lot of stuff in the works, and we're always going to be able to welcome you back on, Davide. I appreciate it. You're always supporting. You're always asking to come on. I love it, and that's all I can ask for. Oops, sorry. Go ahead. I think I cut you off.
Going to like
Yeah, exactly. And guys, please follow. Please follow on Twitter. Please follow on obviously YouTube. Please follow on Instagram. Oh yeah, go ahead, boss.
People think I was 20. People think I was older.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, guys. I'm like, this guy's a young kid. He's doing what I don't think I could have done as a you said
15.
15. Yeah, so like
Turned 16 in the summer.
there you go. So I don't know. I don't think I could be doing it in your position. So I got to give you props, man. It's awesome, and I really hope, like I said, we can get you to 1,000 after hopefully after this thing goes up. But yeah, thanks for coming on. I appreciate it. We're gonna get, like I said, we're gonna get you back on for sure. One of the mainstays on Juventinità podcast. And guys, like I said, please follow him at @daily_Juve.
10 on Instagram.
And 10 on, yeah, so obviously at @daily_Juve 10 on Insta. And it's YouTube is Juve Daily, correct? Just Juve
Yes.
Daily.
Yes.
So there you go.
I'll show it to you guys, actually.
Yeah, go ahead. That's probably easier.
Yeah.
Than me trying to yeah, that's the one it is. But
here you go.
boom, Juve Daily. Check him out, man. He's doing everything. He's doing previews. He's doing transfer rumors when we were talking about in the transfer market and he's also doing previews post game. Lots of great stuff. Short content, so you can check it out quickly and very to the point. So we appreciate that, and I'm always watching you guys, whether it's Roman, whether it's you, whether it's Al.
I think Roma is going to be good next year. That's what I think.
Oh, sorry.
I think Roma.
Yeah.
Hopefully Roma gets better. I want to see Roma and AC Milan get better. Not Mirta.
Well, I always got a soft spot for the Lazio and obviously Roma and Lazio, the Lazio teams, because that's just where my family's from, so or at least part of my family's from there. But yeah, so I got a soft spot for them, and yeah, I agree. I hope we see
Reggio Calabria is struggling to their 15th place right now in Serie B. That's got from on the west. They're seeing it from Reggio Calabria. We've been tough times at Serie C, but I'm very happy they're in Serie B.
Hey, it's tough for a lot of teams, man. Like with the money and COVID, teams are struggling right now. They're really struggling. But yeah, let's wrap her up, guys. I appreciate all the support as always. Please follow, obviously, Juventinità, DAL, Instagram, Twitter. We got Juventinità Back to Black and White podcast on YouTube, iTunes, Podbean, Google Podcasts, Spotify. Check it out. Drop a subscribe, drop a comment, questions, so we can keep the conversation going. And thank you guys for all the comments, all the support. I really appreciate it. And yeah, guys, as always, fino alla fine, Forza Juventus.
Ciao, guys.